All right, so I just did a video on why I put together that playlist. That was just to let people know about, you know, hey, what's going on with companies and what they've done. But I'm sitting here having a Oliva. It's a Series G. It may not come up clear. That's all right. There you go. Oliva Series G. It is somewhere between a Maduro and a Connecticut on the wrapper, on the color of it. So let's go over a couple things. First, I want to talk about, I'm just going to throw this out there. Hawaii just got damaged really bad, I guess, by a hurricane and the flooding and all. And I'm going to, because hurricane's coming up, for Trucker News Net, I'm going to show on the internet off of NOAA.nhc.gov. That's NOAA.nhc.gov. I'm going to teach you how people, because I used to do hurricane relief work a lot, haven't done it in a while, but how people who run hurricane relief work, how we track storms, just to see what's going to happen and predict. Because honestly, a lot of times, I'm not knocking meteorologists, but you can look at the 3-day swath and sometimes you can predict it better than they can. I'm not kidding you. So they get their information from NOAA anyways. The 3 to 5 day swath you can pretty well go by, and then after that you can expect tornadoes. So it's the tornado part that's the worst of it that I wanted to bring up to truckers. You might be going down a road and there might be a tree across the road. I used to carry a chainsaw on the back, going to do that kind of stuff, and all the road signs will be down and you have to have a police escort. It's a mess. But I'll teach how to get into the 3 and 5 day swath and show what I'm talking about the tornadoes spawning off of it and that kind of stuff. I can pretty well look at their info and their intel on hurricane movement, and it's not predicting, it's going by their model. I can pretty well know on the East Coast how they're going to act, but on the West Coast I can't, because instead of moving from east to west over towards the East Coast and then knowing how it's going to be affected by hot water, you know, in the Atlantic, the Pacific acts so much differently that I wouldn't know where to start. I haven't been watching it, but I've been watching the East Coast for years. So honestly, the 3-day swath is still a pretty good prediction model because they know how it's moving. But out in the Pacific, they act a little differently. They might go back out to sea, you know? It's really odd. So here's what's going on coming up here. Labor Day. Labor Day is September the 3rd. That's not this coming up Monday, but it's next Monday. Don't be stuck at a closed shipper or delivery dock. It's easy to miss these little holidays that are not like New Year's or Christmas or Easter, or, you know, holidays that you tend to remember. Don't miss Labor Day. Don't take a load. They will give you a load just to cover it. They will lie to you, man. If you think they won't lie to you just to cover freight, they will lie to you. And they'll say, oh, well, then you're stuck there for whatever, and, you know. So if you're trying to go home or wherever you're trying to go, plan on being home. Place is going to be closed, okay? Maybe even starting Friday and for the weekend. It's called Labor Day weekend for a reason. Get you some steaks, get you some barbecue, do some grilling, cook some ribs. So, because yeah, dispatchers don't care. They will lie just to get you to cover the freight. They go home every night, people. Have you ever noticed that? And they work a 40-hour a week job. That's cute. 40 hours a week. That's a vacation. That's like a part-time job. 40 hours a week, I can work, if you figure a 14-hour day, even the hours that you work in that day, but you're gone in the truck, 2.5 days and you've got 40 hours in. You know? Seriously. Do the math. Say 3 days. 3 days, there you go. If you're actually showing the 14 hours, you know, 14 times 3, 10, 20, 30, 42, I think. Let's see. Got me doing math now. 4 times 3 is 12. I was right. 42 hours in 3 days. Part-time workers. That's cute. Yeah, they work hard, I'm sure. So, but they get to go home and take care of what they're trying to work on. You know, we don't have that option. So getting home on a holiday, they'll even, oh yeah, and that's another trick they do. Oh my God. They'll be like, well, if we get you home for this weekend, we may not be able to get you home for that holiday. But they'll be home in 40 hours. I like to see them if they came into work and the boss said, hey, everybody that's doing dispatch, guess what? You're going to work 40 hours this week, but in the meantime and in between time, you're going to stay here. We got showers downstairs. We've got bunks set up. We're going to need y'all to actually get some work done. So you'll be home Friday. Right. Even on 40 hours, we're out here for 70 hours, then do a 34-hour restart, then work however many more hours we can work by the end of the week. Okay? So let's do the math. Hey, I got a calculator. I can do it. Check it out. I got this crazy new jelly one from a truck stop. Let's see. So 14 times 6 days a week is 84 hours. All right. So 14 70 divided by 14. 70 divided by 14 is, you know, of course, you could do it in 5 days. Let's just say 6, you know. But if you do it in 5 days, then you get a 24-hour off period with your 10-hour break. Then you've got a whole nother day. So you're talking 14 times 6. That's 84 hours possible in a week, close to it. So there you go. That's twice as much plus 4 hours as, oh, well, I'm working 40 hours. And they, oh, and they'll send you a message. They're gonna be out of the office. They're gonna be off. They're gonna be, where are you gonna be? You're gonna be, look, it comes nighttime. They go home. You turn on your headlights. Yeah, I mean, really. So, oh my God, don't get me started on that. So yeah, they go home every night and they work 40 hours a week, and that's just cute. That's a part-time job. So, you're talking, you know, 2.5 days time or so. But now the loads pay every night. Every time, you know, they just float your money. Yep, they go into a stock market account. Then they got a credit account. And then they keep it from you. So, and they can't tell you when they can get you home. They can't tell you that. Well, it might depend on this or this and that, but they can tell you when you're going to leave back out again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Even though they're home every night and they want to act like, well, you should be gone a few weeks or here or there, and they will keep you. Let me tell you something. I've had situations where I've been working for a place that I was leased to even, and they tried some mess with me where they had me under 2 loads that went out and then back to where I was already at, and then it keep me in the Midwest and up northeast and wherever, anywhere but where I was trying to be. Anywhere but even going home or going past the house or whatever you want to do, anywhere but there, anywhere. And yet they had a load that was supposed to pick up 2 days before that, and you would think they would want you to run it and get it down there. But until you refuse that, all those other loads they have on you, oh, they're gonna keep that for somebody else. Because it's not just time for you to go home. Well, who determines when it's time for you to go home? They go home every night. Every night. And you can't say, well, that's their job and this is your job. No, your job is what you make of it. This is what I'm trying to convey to you. You got to stand your ground a lot of times, and if you don't stand your ground, you will be looking at this view on Labor Day. You understand what I'm saying? You'll be at the back of the truck stop, just like there's a whole line of these trucks over here. You'll be looking at this if you don't stand your ground and make sure you're home or wherever you want to be with your, visiting family or whatever, because they will have you here. Because they'll lie and they'll say that shipper's open when it's not, and you'll wind up here. I'm giving you a heads up, people. I'm telling you. If you've not experienced this, fine. If you can't remember, fine. If you forgot it's a holiday, or if you've never had, man, they will do you that way. So, that's why, a lot of drivers are telling them where they can go. And they're leaving. They're quitting. That's why there's a high turnover rate. So, most companies, I'm not hurting the bad. I'm catching things around and getting good. I'm telling the truth, though, for people that are coming into trucking. I'm showing you how to work on a truck to save money, and that, hey, that's where your money's going. The biggest part of it is maintenance. You can have people say, oh, well, if you do this, you'll save money, and if you, okay, great. And even don't idle your truck or do whatever you do. Fuel is in it. Okay, great. Okay, run this many hours, run hard. 90% of your money that you're going to expend in the end result, if you think I'm kidding, all right, I'll put it to you like this. 60% of your expenditures is fuel. The other 40% is going to be maintenance that you just don't know because it hadn't happened yet. You are driving a ticking shop bomb. I just coined a new phrase, a ticking shop bomb, like a time bomb. You're driving a ticking shop bomb. Because they have engineered into your truck a guaranteed breakdown at around 300, 400,000 miles with your DPF filters needing to be cleaned. Okay? That's about $1,600. Or you could sit there and wait. Like, okay, look. It's either $1,250 if you sit there and wait a couple of days for them to send your filters off. If they take the filters out, you have to pay for new clamps that hold them in place and pay for the filters to be cleaned, and all that labor time. It's a lot of labor. Let's just figure $1,250 to $1,400. Fine, that's it at Freightliner. Okay. If you swap filters, it will buy you some time, or I think it's, no, that's right. That's right, yeah, it's cheaper if you clean your own, but you have to wait. But if you buy filters that are already remanufactured or cleaned or whatever, and you're getting somebody else's filters that have been checked out, and hopefully they work good, and new clamps and the labor, you can get it done faster, but it's gonna cost you more, if I'm not mistaken. That it's cheaper to have your own clean, but if you get the remanufactured ones, it's probably about, I think, about $400 more. So, just figure on anywhere from $1,400 to $1,800 of an engineered breakdown that is engineered within your truck to happen. Okay? So, that's coming at you. That's true. So, that is your expenditure. It could go up to 14 grand if you have a problem with the DEF system. I've heard of some higher ones, because a lot of times the sensors or the lines need to be cleaned, and they have to replace the whole box if there's a hole in the box, because the box is made to hold it. If they got to replace the whole thing, you're talking $14,000 to $16,000 for what they call a new DEF system. Any problems with burn through on the exhaust pipes that need to be changed, whatever. So, I don't know. I got off a little bit into a different kind of a thing there, but yeah, you'll hopefully be home for the holiday. If you plan for it now. It's the 3rd. So that's it. That's all I got for you people. Y'all stay safe, and I'm gonna get out this thing. Okay, got to finish up a cigar and get down the road, and yeah. So you got engineered within your truck a problem, and you got dispatches of problems. There's all these problems that you're gonna have to deal with in trucking. But they will lie to you. And don't let them get you stuck out, at least this weekend. At least stand up for your home time or whatever you got going on, because they will nail you. And I'm sitting next to 40 trucks on a weekend, and probably half of them on the back of their truck say home nights and weekends. But let's be honest, you drive down the road, you talk to them on the CB, and they're going, oh well, I'm just doing this for some extra money. Or, oh well, yeah, of course you have to, because they're not paying enough. You have to. That's the truth of it. And then where are you at? This view right here. Y'all stay safe. I'm out. Peace.